Improper food storage can significantly affect the quality, safety, and nutritional value of what we eat. According to an in-depth report from the Freshness Institute of New York, keeping certain foods in the refrigerator can actually do more harm than good. In an effort to promote better food storage habits across the United States, Dr. Emily Roberts, a highly respected food scientist at the Institute, has outlined 7 common foods that are frequently stored incorrectly in American households. Her research underscores how this improper storage can result in nutrient loss, the creation of harmful toxins, and heightened health risks. Understanding where and how to properly store these everyday foods can help preserve their health benefits, taste, and longevity. 1. Potatoes, a common mistake with serious consequences. One of the most common mistakes that people make is storing raw potatoes in the refrigerator. While the cool temperature of a fridge might seem like an ideal environment for preserving most foods, it's actually harmful to potatoes. The reason lies in the starch content of the potato. When exposed to cold temperatures, the natural starches within the potato begin to convert into sugar at an accelerated rate. This seemingly innocent transformation poses a significant risk when those sugar-rich potatoes are cooked at high temperatures, such as during frying, baking, or roasting. The high heat causes the sugars to react with the amino acid asparagine, forming a potentially harmful chemical called acrylamide. Acrylamide has been studied extensively and has been linked to an increased risk of developing various types of cancer, especially when consumed regularly over time. That to avoid this dangerous outcome, Dr. Roberts recommends storing potatoes in a cool around 50 to 60 degrees Fahrenheit, dry, and well-ventilated area. Ideal locations include a dark pantry or a cellar, where the temperature is stable and there is minimal light exposure, which can also cause potatoes to sprout or turn green, a sign of toxic solanine buildup. Never wash potatoes before storing them, as moisture can promote mold and decay. Leave them unwashed and place them in a paper bag or an open container that allows for proper air circulation. 2. Tomatoes. Keep them out of the fridge for maximum flavor and nutrition. Tomatoes are another food that suffers greatly from cold storage. According to Dr. Roberts, placing fresh tomatoes in the refrigerator is one of the worst things you can do for their taste and nutritional value. The internal membranes of tomatoes are sensitive to cold temperatures, and refrigerating them causes the cellular structure to break down. As a result, the tomatoes become mealy, mushy, and lose much of their vibrant flavor. Moreover, refrigeration halts the natural ripening process, which is essential not only for achieving peak taste, but also for enhancing the concentration of lycopene. Lycopene is a powerful antioxidant responsible for the rich red color of ripe tomatoes and has been linked to a reduced risk of chronic illnesses, including certain cancers and heart disease. Instead of placing tomatoes in the fridge, store them in a breathable container like a bowl or a basket on your kitchen counter. Make sure to keep them out of direct sunlight, which can cause them to over-ripen too quickly. If the tomatoes are already fully ripe and you're not ready to use them, it's okay to refrigerate them for a very short time, but be sure to let them return to room temperature before consuming them to restore some of their lost flavor. 3. Bread. The cold ruins its texture. Bread is a staple in most American households, but many people are unsure about the best way to store it. While it might seem logical to keep bread in the refrigerator to prevent mold, doing so can actually make it go stale more quickly. The cold temperature speeds up a process known as starch retrogradation, which causes the bread to lose moisture and become hard and dry. Additionally, the humid environment inside most refrigerators can encourage mold growth on the surface of the bread, particularly if it's stored in a plastic bag. Instead, for short-term storage up to 2 days, Dr. Roberts suggests placing bread in a cloth bag or an airtight container and keeping it at room temperature in a dry area. For longer storage, wrap the bread tightly in plastic wrap or aluminum foil, then place it in a freezer-safe bag and freeze it. When you're ready to eat it, you can thaw it at room temperature or gently warm it in the oven or toaster to bring back its freshness and texture. Avoid microwaving bread directly from the freezer. as it can result in a rubbery consistency. 4. Avocados. Let them ripen. First, avocados are a favorite in many American diets, praised for their creamy texture and heart-healthy fats. However, refrigerating unripe avocados is a common mistake that can ruin their quality. Dr. Roberts explains that cold temperatures interfere with the enzymes responsible for ripening. When these enzymes are deactivated, the avocado remains hard, fibrous, and may develop an unpleasant, bitter taste. Additionally, the nutrient profile of the fruit can be compromised. To ensure your avocados ripen properly, store them at room temperature in a bowl or paper bag. You can speed up the ripening process by placing them next to ethylene-producing fruits like bananas or apples. Once the avocado is soft to the touch and fully ripe, it can be placed in the refrigerator to slow down further ripening. However, even then, Dr. Roberts advises that they should only be kept in the fridge for a maximum of 2 days to maintain optimal flavor and texture. If you've cut open an avocado and want to store the unused portion, brush the exposed flesh with lemon juice or olive oil to prevent browning. Then cover it tightly with plastic wrap or store it in an airtight container in the fridge. Use it within a day or two. 5. Bananas. Don't chill them too soon. Bananas are another fruit that doesn't respond well to refrigeration. In fact, placing bananas in the fridge too soon can lead to several unappetizing results. The cold environment causes the banana peel to darken rapidly, turning it brown or even black. While the inside might still be edible, the overall appearance becomes unappealing. Moreover, the texture of the banana can become mealy and less enjoyable. Refrigeration also interferes with the natural ripening process. For this reason, bananas should be stored at room temperature until they reach the desired ripeness. To slow down the ripening process without refrigeration, Dr. Roberts recommends wrapping the stems of the bananas in aluminum foil or plastic wrap. This simple trick reduces the release of ethylene gas, which is responsible for ripening. Once your bananas are fully ripe and you want to prevent them from becoming overly soft, you can place them in the refrigerator for a short period, about 1 to 2 days. If the bananas become too ripe, peel them and store them in a freezer bag for later use in smoothies or baking. 6. Garlic. Keep it dry and cool. Garlic is a kitchen essential known for both its strong flavor and its health-promoting compounds, especially allicin, which has antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties. However, many people mistakenly store garlic in the refrigerator, especially after it's been peeled or chopped. This practice can cause the garlic to sprout prematurely and degrade the levels of allicin. Storing garlic in the fridge can also encourage mold growth and alter its taste. For whole garlic bulbs, the best practice is to store them in a dry, cool, and well-ventilated place such as a pantry or a mesh bag. Avoid plastic containers or bags, as they trap moisture and encourage decay. Dr. Roberts also shares a critical food safety warning. Homemade mixtures of chopped garlic and olive oil should never be stored at room temperature. This creates a low-acid, oxygen-free environment that can foster the growth of Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria responsible for botulism, a rare but potentially fatal illness. To safely prepare garlic-infused oils, always refrigerate them immediately and consume them within a week. 7. Honey. Keep it at room temperature. Many people assume that refrigerating honey will help extend its shelf life, but the opposite is true. Honey is naturally shelf-stable and can last indefinitely when stored properly. In fact, placing honey in the fridge causes it to crystallize more quickly, resulting in a gritty, grainy texture that makes it difficult to use. While you can reliquefy crystallized honey by gently warming it in a water bath, repeated heating can damage its natural enzymes, antioxidants, and antimicrobial properties. For this reason, it's best to store honey at room temperature in a tightly sealed jar. Keep it away from direct sunlight and humid conditions, which can compromise its quality. Dr. Roberts also reminds consumers that while honey offers several health benefits, including soothing sore throats and providing antioxidants, it is still high in sugar and should be consumed in moderation, especially by people with diabetes or those watching their caloric intake. In conclusion, Understanding how and where to store certain foods can greatly impact not only their flavor and texture, but also their nutritional value and overall safety. Missteps like putting potatoes in the fridge or leaving garlic oil at room temperature can have serious consequences. By following these evidence-based guidelines from Dr. Emily Roberts and the Freshness Institute of New York, American households can make smarter, safer choices that preserve both the quality of their food and their long-term health.